And I think that that's what I love about myself is that I don't have to be one thing. And that's, I think at the end of the day, what I always dreamt of. I dreamt of being everything. And I think you can be. And I think it's just a matter of having the dreams and having the patience to do it. And that's why I love this movie so much. I think it's such a feel good movie about a boy with dreams who is really willing to, do the best he can do and have the passion that he has and eventually become who he becomes. For me, at the end of the day, like Guelaguetza just means to create community. It's to create community through great food and great people. We give up on ourselves very easily and we give up on people very easily. But I think more than anything, if there's one person you should never give up, it's on yourself. And I think you should be kind to yourself and you have patience with yourself. Because yes, there's so many stories about people that just make it overnight and it's, within 1 year, this is what happened. But in reality, it hasn't been a year. It's probably been a decade. So I think that knowing that it's going to take at least 10 years for you to see any return on anything.
Great to meet you. My name is Jacqueline Sarabia, and I'm from Platicando con Yaque podcast. How are you today, Bricia?
Oh, I'm so well. How are you, Jackie?
Very good, very good. Thank you for your time and for being here with us. And I would like to start with what does La Guelaguetza mean to you?
Oh man, for me at the end of the day, like it said, just means to create community. It's to create community through great food and great people. I am very blessed to be able to have a restaurant that serves what I believe in, what I'm very proud to say, some of the best Oaxacan food in the country, but also houses. I think what I love, one of the best food teams. We have such a great team here where everyone's family and we all have, we're all each other's family. And we've created so much community with not only one another, but with our customers and all through mole, chocolate, and mezcal. So it makes me very, very happy and very, very proud.
Thank you for sharing. On an interview, you said that you and your sister got your first job back in Oaxaca when your dad opened like the mezcal store.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if when you were a kid, you thought you would be a chef, or what were you dreaming of back then?
Oh my gosh, yes. I was 7 or 8. My sister was either 10 or 11, and we would run this mezcal store, in El Tule. I I think back then my mind was just so open. I don't think I had one specific thing. I just knew that there was a lot that I wanted to do. And I think that that's really what I do now. Yes, I cook for a living, and that's one of the things I do, but I do so many other things. And I think that that's what I love about myself is that I don't have to be one thing. And that's, I think at the end of the day, what I always dreamt of. I dreamt of being everything. And I think you can be. And I think it's just a matter of having the dreams and having the patience to do it. And that's why I love this movie so much. I think it's such a feel good movie about a boy with dreams who is really willing to, do the best he can do and have the passion that he has and eventually become who he becomes.
I love everything you said. Like we can do everything. And I would like, but it's a work, it's a process. So I would like to hear about I love Micheladas. Congratulations. Right now
Thank
they're on
you.
Costco. But before they were on Costco, like what's the story behind and how long it took to develop the whole thing?
The brand? Yes, I
Yeah,
mean, we
yeah.
have a couple of brands. We do have our I Love Micheladas Michelada brand. We also have our line of mole starters under our Guelaguetza name that you can find in ilovemole.com. I think both of these products have been developed with one another constantly. I think that for the past 2 years, we've worked really hard to have one of the brands, the Micheladas, um, being sold in Costco through the summer season here in Southern California. And it's taken years. I think that both brands came about when my brother and I took over our family's restaurants about 10 years ago. Um, because the three of us were working here every day at the restaurant. We would come every day. We try to figure things out like we usually do, but then always thinking about what else can we do? What else do we want to do? And do we want to open another restaurant? Do we want to? And I think the micheladas and the mole starters just came as an everyday thing. We were here working every single day, and we realized what people wanted and what people were asking for, and we just stayed sort of really put to what our customers needed. And at that time, we just saw a future in both of these things, in both of these brands, and that's how they both launched. And I think food is what we do best. And having both our mole starters and our michelada brand um, kind of develop at the same time, and seeing how different both brands are. I love micheladas. We do big events and we're loud and we can be crazy, but with our mole starters, it's very family forward. And we have so many things aligned to that and our restaurant, our culture. And again, you can be both. You can be the girl who loves how to, put her botas on and go dance banda, but you can also be the girl that is at home with her PJs making mole and chocolate for the mornings. You don't have to choose.
Exactly. I love that. We don't have to live by a label. We can do
No.
everything we want now.
Yes, we
And
can.
behind the scenes of a restaurant, what happens in a kitchen restaurant that we as a customers we don't know, but it could be many things. Like we don't have any idea when we go to the La Guelaguetza and we get our plate, but what happens behind that? Can you share with us a story?
Yes. I mean, I think it's the amount of prep and the amount of care for food safety that we have here. I think that when you're cooking at home for, 2, 4 people is very different than when you're cooking for thousands or when you're making mole for so many. And I think a lot of people don't understand like food safety rules and all the food safety courses that we have to go to, and how many thermometers there are around here, and how much we have to make sure that everything is at temperature, and temperature controls are very, very important. I think one of the most important parts of having a restaurant. Um, Even just, cooling down when we do our mole, we do it by liters. So even just making sure that we're using the right tools to make sure they come to temperature before we then go put them into the walk-in. And some, have to go into the freezer that get shipped, to other parts of the country. So I think just the level of just production that goes behind the scenes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And yeah, we don't have any idea what happens. Like in a movie, we don't have any idea how many people are behind a camera holding a cable, the lighting,
Mhm.
everything, the same thing at a business. Um, and to the people who are watching us and want to be chef or a writer or anything they want, what tip would you give it to them?
You know, I think my only tip for people that are trying to achieve their dreams is to have patience. I think that we give up on ourselves very easily and we give up on people very easily. Um, but I think more than anything, if there's one person you should never give up, it's on yourself. And I think you should be kind to yourself and to have patience with yourself. Because yes, there's so many stories about people that just make it overnight, and it's, within 1 year this is what happened. But in reality, it hasn't been a year. It's probably been a decade. So I think that knowing that it's going to take at least 10 years for you to see any return on anything, being very intentional about that and say, okay, cool. So, and the way it goes, it's you're pretty much in jail for the first 3 to 4 years until something happens, but then more problems happen and there's more problems in between and there's highs in there. But at the end of the year, you won't get through the first hump until 10 years in. And I think that that's when you really get to meet someone that has something that's created that's a little bit more, that's a little more history, but it's not an overnight success. It's always a success of 10 plus years.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that. You are absolutely right. Sometimes, yeah, we have a dream and we're like, we don't see us growing and we want to throw the towel, like, or yeah. And what is your creative process? How do you get inspired?
I don't have a creative process. I think
Mm.
honestly, sometimes I just walk and I get like these like bursts of like, this is the one. Or I get a lot of those when as soon as I wake up. I think like I realize like for me, it comes within 10 minutes of waking up. I just get flooded with ideas. But I think that's also after a good night's rest. And I think that I get the most creative when I'm rested, um, and when I'm happy.
Mm. Very important, very important. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much, Bricia, for your time and for sharing this amazing information. And it was a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you.